Gates sat on today's proceedings to tell us everything that happened in court today.
Well, today's hearing was more procedural than informative, but it did set the timetable for some of the next steps in this trial. The biggest development happened outside the courthouse, and that was learning how much attention ZIYAH's story's been getting since last week's preliminary hearing. Butts entered a not guilty plea before the court scheduled a calendar conference set for March 7th at 9 a.m. That's when deadlines to file motions, motion hearing dates, and potential trial dates will be set. One of ZIYAH's adult cousins and staunchest advocates said her story is
shout out to Roxy
ever since the preliminary hearing.
There are a few celebrities that have reached out. It's reached some very top tier platforms. So I'm hoping that it moves in the right direction that it needs to go on.
Roxy says one of these celebrities was Detroit's very own Skilla Baby, who not only said he'd cover the cost to throw a community gathering to honor ZIYAH's life, but he's also changed his profile picture to this photo of her.
I'm very thankful that Skilla Baby decided to, step up to the plate and take care of everything. And it's just awesome how the community is coming together all behind ZIYAH.
Roxy told me her reaction to much of the online chatter that sided with Judge Aaliyah Sabri's observation that those caring for ZIYAH when she was abused didn't do enough to protect her.
Accountability matters. It's some things that you can be able to forgive your family members for, and this is just one of those things that I just personally can't. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And everyone involved in it needs to take accountability.
Roxy says she would have never let this happen if she were still living in Detroit 1 year ago. Again, Butts will be back in court on March 7th for that calendar conference, and you can continue to follow along this case with us here at CBS News Detroit as we bring you real-time updates as they happen. For now, reporting in Detroit.
Welcome in, everybody. Shout out to everybody in the building and everybody on the replay. Please smack that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you have not. So, y'all know this is part 5. We've been covering the ZIYAH Harris case. And this is a case that developed last year, actually, January 9th of 2024. She went missing and they have an arrest. The guy that did this is a pedo, a known pedo, who her auntie was dating and had 5 children by. And so we trying to figure out, how much did they know? So I just want to go over some things that I said I was looking at the last time. And one of the things I wanted to go back over was some of the things that was said in the beginning at the trial, because I did not follow this. I didn't watch the complete trial. I've been catching bits and pieces, and but I've been backtracking. So we kind of going backwards because we're late to it, but we trying to catch up and be right there with the trial and understanding everything that's going on. And so it was a lot of ball dropping here. And one of the things that I talked about last time was, who dropped the ball and, how did it happen in the beginning and all that. Shout out to my BFF in the building. Yes, please double tap that screen or hit those 3 dots and smack that thumbs up. Once you double tap that screen, you only need to do it once because you don't want to take the thumbs up away. But shout out to BFF. Thank you for being here, of course. And so I want to go over the guy, the resource officer in the beginning of all of this, who got the case first because the grandparents or the grandmother went to the school instead of going to the police department. I think the first thing I'm going to play, because another thing I wanted to go over too was her father and what he had to say. And I thought it was coming up in a video that I was playing last time. We've been going over Mark DeAndre's videos because he's very instrumental in this case. And he's a guy with a radio show, 7 Mile Radio, but he's on Facebook and he actually posts more on Facebook. Some of the videos you can find on YouTube, but he's a Facebooker for real. Kind of like me with YouTube. I put things on other social media places, but my home base is YouTube. And so we're going to get right into it, y'all. It's a lot. Oh, also, please check out my videos and shorts. I've been posting more of those. Also, So please check those out as well. Let me find the video that I'm looking for. I'm not all the way ready because I just ended another live stream and I didn't get all my stuff together like I should have. But we there. So this is Naziah's father. He had already came and said something on the talk on Mark DeAndre's 5-hour live stream. We've been reviewing the 5-hour live stream that jumped off. A lot of information came from that live stream. I recommend that you do check that out. The link to it is in the description box of my other videos that I actually did. So let's get into it.
They're supposed to be just superheroes and just make everything just dead. And again, and another thing, stop letting y'all kids spend the night at random people's house just to go down the floods or just to go to
now the father should be calling in a minute.
The titty bar and stuff. Keep y'all kids at home. Check on your children. And
that's facts.
My spirit done hit me. If there's any fathers that are, and I'm gonna tell you about that father, he had the audacity to talk about how he sick and his baby is missing. Motherfucker, please. You hear me? Please. That ain't no fucking excuse. Who cares about how you feeling and you had all these first nigga, you failed her. I could tell that he wasn't a father when he first talked about himself. He spit Mark. I watched it. He spent so much time talking about himself, baby. I didn't even know when he was on the phone for. I didn't even know what he called in for. He started talking about himself. Nigga, you failed her. You failed her. And that's how these niggas do that be having.
He did. And he failed his wife too because he cheated on his wife. Now, God rest his soul, the man has passed away, but the truth is the truth. And I felt that way when he was talking too. Like, I mean, I'm going to just let her talk. And then I think he is coming up after this.
These kids, and they married. They failed that other kid that they had.
I do not know who this caller is. She's just a caller. Roxy is on the panel and is another lady that's on the media team. I don't know her name, though.
Sorry, that's there.
Well, okay. I mean, if you know the story, right? I don't know if you heard the first episode of explaining, or in the beginning when he was explaining it, we came to the conclusion of him basically having a one-night stand with Naziah's mom while he was married, and he getting her pregnant, and his wife finding out about it later, right? Mm-hmm. So he really had no care or attachment to the whole situation in the first place, and that's not to say, you know what I mean, that validates his actions in the situation. By a long shot, I'm not saying that, but you know, he didn't care from the jump. So, you know, and again, that was my whole point of the whole first couple of episodes. Just
now that's coming from a man. He didn't care from the jump. It was all about jumping in a sack. It wasn't about a child or anything, or even his wife. Like, I mean, when you cheat on your spouse, that tells a lot about a person, period. Like, I mean, he started out talking about how nice and supportive his wife is and overly supportive she is. I mean, obviously, because he does stuff like that. He also said that he was a heavy drinker, and he said that probably contributed to his congestive heart failure and all of that stuff. And I remember when he was on the news, he said something. They asked him a question, and he said, that's why I'm getting back into ministry, you know. But he has passed, but we gonna keep it playing.
I wasn't gonna correct them or, you know what I mean, or try to check them about nothing. I'm letting them just get it out. So that the climate of the personality
he's a true clown. Cause Kane know, and I just was telling my best friend this earlier, because I'm in the same situation. My oldest is by an idiot, but I chose to lay down with him, and I knew what I was getting out of it. Okay. We were not married, so a lot of things are going to come when you are not married and you have kids out of wedlock. Mm-hmm. Men don't be blessed when they don't take care of their children. I said that. Women are not blessed when they are not taking care of their children. So it is not shocking to me that his health has declined because you have not been a father to your child. Okay? You think you're going to walk around here with good health and ain't nothing going to happen to you and the Most High not going to... What? That's why you sick, and I hope you continue to reap what you have put out into this universe for that baby. That's my wishes for you. And I hope he listening, because he was a true clown. Okay? You talking, he on the air with a whole bunch of mothers, fathers, grandmas, uncles, coaches, or whatever that come out here every day, and we make it happen for our children, for our village that we are growing. And you telling us about how you was in the hospital. Boy, you hear me? And your wife should be automatically ashamed of you too. She should be ready to divorce you because you are a weak man. Now, I don't know all the other details, Mark, because I be busy, honey. I got 3 kids over here. So I didn't hear all the details of the story, but I chimed in today because I was doing my laundry, and I just had to give my spiel. Protect y'all.
So what are y'all feeling about the father? Can y'all relate? Do y'all agree with her? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the AFC podcast in the building. Welcome in. Welcome in, Judas. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, thanks for coming by. And so yeah, what do y'all think about her? I mean, she telling the truth. You know, he definitely failed ZIYAH and her mother and the wife. You know, I mean, he failed his wife for sure by cheating on her, and then he failed his daughter by not being there. And like he just said, it really wasn't about nothing but that in the first place. He knew what you know, they call ZIYAH's mother Lady. He knew that what she was. He said that she was a sniffer, so he knew all of that. So let her keep playing.
I'm so glad that you did. You know what I mean? And mainly about the perspective from DPD.
I appreciate that.
Because we don't want DPD, because we know they watch it, to feel like we are blaming them.
And no bashing the police in our commentary at all, because we have no idea what they deal with.
What I explained,
I know personally, like I said, the chief that they have now and the chief before, he takes this very serious. That man ain't on the news because he bored. That man is overworked. The DPD is overworked entirely. But if people stop calling the police about their cousin took their garbage can and they want their garbage can back, and the police on the scene for an hour, then they'll.
But you got these.
We ain't caping for no cops over here. Okay, so he did come up. Okay.
Women out here.
Let me let him.
And I don't know if you didn't know how or didn't know where to start.
Now ZIYAH's dad is calling my phone.
Oh shit.
But he has to call in now. Let me see what he. Bro, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, bro?
What's happening?
Spicy.
Hey, you know I've been out there looking for that baby, man. Hey, you know I've been out there looking.
Hopefully y'all can hear him good, and he just saying, you know, I was out there looking for my baby. So he talks kind of different because of his ailment, but hopefully y'all can hear him. Let me know if you can't.
Can you hear me? I can hear you. You're supposed to call the call-in line, bro. You called my phone, bro.
Okay, so what you want me to do?
You got to call the phone line. The phone line, 313-7.
I'm about to call right now.
Oh, okay. So we'll be able to hear him better when he called the right phone. And he's gonna instantly say something to Roxy, but she wasn't even the one talking. Or maybe she gonna say something when he says something. But anyway, I mean, he just, I agree. He failed her too. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, I mean, they the ones that created her and wasn't there to take care of her and protect her.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say what I have to say regarding Shannon, because I'm an aunt and I'm a woman and I'm for the community, but I'll say it, and I hope she's listening, and I hope that you take in what I have to say respectfully.
What's happening, bro?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Okay,
hey,
BFF.
So, I want to just keep this about my daughter, but you got these old hurt women out here that don't understand nothing.
What?
You see what I'm saying? For one, me and my wife was together. We wasn't married. And they don't know.
Wait a minute now. He said me and my wife was together, but we wasn't married. Was she your wife or not? Like, See, this is what I be saying too. Like, I don't like for guys to use a title that's not true. Don't let a man call you his wife, wifey poo, if he ain't put a ring on it. If he ain't walked you down that aisle and your dad ain't gave you away, don't let a man call you wife. What the hell is he talking about here?
They don't know the situation. And so the clown don't know that I was paying child support. The mother got into some trouble with weed.
Common law don't exist no more in most places, from my understanding. Don't call me your wife unless you put a ring on it and walk me down that aisle, sir.
With the grandmother, we signed over the rights to the grandmother. We signed the rights over to the grandmother so she could take care of ZIYAH. I was going over there. Her family know I was going over there. I was taking money. I was doing everything. And I put myself on child support.
So I just wanted to say, because we listened to his first part where he talked, and he said that he they signed her over. He didn't even tell his wife. His wife only found out because he put himself on child support and the paperwork came home and she found out. He didn't know that she was going to find out that way. He didn't think about that at all. So if you had already, what was he planning on having a secret child? Now, when he talked the first time, y'all, he made it sound like he just gave her off and that was that. He wasn't going to be nope in her life. The granny was going to do it the right way. But now he's saying something different. Either way, he wasn't there. He's even going to say that he wasn't there for years. 4 to 5 years. Then somebody else saying 8. But we going to listen closely. I'm going to let him talk.
I had a heart problem. Lost contact.
I do wonder how was his heart when she was made, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, did he get immediately ill right after that, or? Okay, let me let it.
Hospital recently for my heart. That's how the police contacted me again. That's how I got back in and found out where they were. And since I got out, I've been out.
Oh, they do. Arkansas support common law. I'm gonna have to see where common law is even legal at still. I don't know. But welcome in, Sirline Gill.
Day and night, flyers and everything. You have? So these clowns, yeah, you know I've been out there, bro. And it's upsetting me because I'm trying to keep this focus.
I just want to say this, that I think he's confusing the not being there for your daughter is more than showing up when she missed and handing out some flyers. It's more than even sending a gift and paying child support. Raising a child, paying child support, taking them shopping and dropping them back off at home, which he wasn't even doing that. But I'm just saying that's the easy work. Is taking care of them when they ill every day, running them here and there, speaking life into them, helping with homework, doctor's appointments, all this stuff. Man, get out of here. I'm sure y'all know this though already.
I'm finding my baby. And so they can't tell me what I have and what I ain't been doing with their old rusty self. I can't stand when people do that stuff when you're trying to be honest. I can't stand it, man. Old foul ass mouth. She don't know what she's talking about.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna say this because I think what you're getting back is the frustration and the anger from the community because they're wondering where you were. And I
now this is the difference between Mark and the women, because Mark will just be quiet and let them talk, but you see that she jumped in. He'll just let him keep talking. It'll go silent before he says something sometime. Let's see what she's saying.
I do believe in forgiveness, but this too also in the eye of God as well, because ZIYAH comes from you. You're facing those demons, and it's not for us to judge you. It's not, because that's between you and God. But what you're getting back is from the community, because when you don't step up as a father, sir, then the community has to.
And what I'm saying, y'all keep saying I don't didn't step up. I was there. I was never not there. Only time I wasn't there because her grandmother kept popping her butt around because she on some other stuff. I couldn't find her. She went missing. Other than that, I was over there.
Who went missing?
I was over there.
Who went missing?
The grandmother was going MIA. Man, she jumped around for so many houses over there on the east side. I'm telling you, she was moving around. Ask her family. Ask her family.
This is her family.
It wasn't easy keeping up with them.
This is her family. This is Roxy. This is her family.
Right.
I know who Roxy. I seen Roxy, but I was on the phone with the auntie and Annette's sister. They know what's going on. They was with Chantel. I don't even know who Roxy is. No disrespect. It's a lot of their family members I don't know. That's fine. You know what? That's fine. Yeah.
Well,
and the only reason I answer any questions at first because people, y'all, even Mark, you said people want to know who you are. I'm gonna ask you these few questions, and then we're gonna talk about your daughter. I said, fine, man, I ain't got nothing to hide. And now it's just like, oh, this is either deadbeat dead. Y'all, I was never. You keep on saying all this stuff. I was never a deadbeat dead.
Well, Mark didn't say that, love. Mark never called you. Mark, listen, these
no,
are.
I'm not saying he said I was. I'm not saying he said I was a deadbeat dead.
But the people.
Mark gave me an opportunity to. He gave me an opportunity to speak, and he said they wanted to know who I was, and I said I don't have anything to hide. I will answer the question.
And we thank you for that. Thank you for your honesty and your transparency. And it's not to beat up on you again. This is just emotion from the community. Because I know you said that you were there and then you paid child support, but child support doesn't make up for the presence.
For the time being over there, I was over there. What part of people ain't listen? I was over there. I was going over it. I went over there.
How much were you over there?
I was over there. I went and seen my baby.
To go drop off money over there, to go drop off
money, clothes, whatever, bikes, whatever it was. I was helping Annette needed, like I would go over there, something wrong on the house. I might fix this while I was over there. She had so many houses she was at.
Okay, so what quality time did you actually spend with you and your daughter one-on-one?
Now that's Roxy, and that's the first time she really even said anything. He don't want to hear from her, but it very much is the truth. Like he was not there for her at all. He already said it in the first interview. But we gonna hear him because he about to pop off a little bit.
What was that time like?
Roxy, get off the phone, man. I'm not even talking to you. You know?
But that was a logical question. That was logical. He ain't never spent time with the girl.
Because you irritate me. I don't even know you.
Okay.
You asking me questions.
Okay.
Oh, that was a valid question.
It was.
No, I'm just tired of trying to pull my teeth, and I already told y'all. The lady was even squatting in some homes. I went over there and helped fix up. Talk to her other family members, the ones that we know that was there. The ones that did the interview.
I'm just trying to get clarity. I'm not trying to, if it seems like I'm trying to put you on.
The ones that did the interview, the other people that know, there's other people that know me, that I've been over there. I help them move. I always help that family out.
So
always.
I guess back to one of the questions that I asked you.
Pay attention. He said always help the family out. Always over there. Always doing this, that, and the third. And when they ask him how long has it been, you gonna see what he been doing. Nothing.
Original call, so when you was over there, how much did you know?
Exactly. She didn't know
what was
him.
going on over there, as far as I guess I want to say the abuse or.
It was right. It was never nothing like that. She was a God-fearing woman. She didn't have all the adoption of all the kids. She didn't have that. It was just my
You
daughter.
never seen a chain on the refrigerator or nothing? Like you ain't never been in the house?
It was nothing like that. No chains on the refrigerator, none of that. It was all this stuff is just new to me when I got out the hospital this time. None of that revealed. None of that.
Well, before ZIYAH came up missing, when was the last time that you saw her?
When I got my operation back. I had my operation years ago.
Years ago.
All right. I couldn't walk after the operation. I had to go to rehab.
Mm-hmm.
There was no communication. When I got out of rehab, it was no fall, no nothing. When I got out of rehab,
I do want to paint. I probably should have let him finish, but I do want to point out. It don't matter. Like when you are, let's say for instance, you're a mother, you got to go into the hospital to have more children. You might have had a surgery. You might have had a car accident and you can't even freaking move. That don't excuse you from being a parent, period. You're a parent until the day you die. I mean, and you still gonna be their parent. You just gonna be passed away. Like no operation, no ailment, no nothing stops you from being mommy and daddy. You don't disappear from your kids because you got sick. You didn't have a phone. None of that. Not when you close to them at all. Shout out to Judas. Thank you so much. He said, yeah. Thank you so much for the donation. We greatly appreciate that. Hold on. And shout out to you. Shout out to you. Let's go. Shout out to you. Let's go.
On Corville. I went on Corville. There was nobody there. Nobody know where they moved to. People don't. That's one thing about these phones that make you lazy to where you don't write nothing down. I didn't have any other numbers. I couldn't get in contact with anybody. So I think like 4, 5 years might have passed until now.
Okay, so it was some time since your hospitalization since the last time you saw her. So maybe probably 6 months, 8 months.
Since I seen her?
Yes.
No, it was about 4 or 5 years since I've seen her.
Y'all hear that? Now she gave him the benefit of the doubt. She said, what has been 6 months, 8 months, no, years. And it might have been more than that because people, they could say 4 to 6. It probably was 8 to 10, okay? Welcome in, everybody. And so, Sonia, what did she say? God rest his soul. Definitely, I said that first. The man has passed away, but the truth is the truth. His words live on, and the mark that he left, the dash, the dash in the middle.
Okay, I'm sorry. My apologies. 4 or 5 years. Okay. And you didn't know at all where she lived at, or you didn't have a contact for Miss Annette during that time?
No, I didn't. No.
Wow.
Now, what I'm curious about, I don't think they're going to ask him, but I would like to know when he was over there all the time. Because remember, that was his argument at first. I was there all the time. I was helping with this and doing this and that. How long ago was that? Because remember, he said his operation was years ago. So it's been, he ain't seen her since the operation. He hadn't seen her since he got sick. He lost contact with him because they was moving around. But I'm going to let him talk.
Somebody there.
Well, I'm going to say I apologize if this has rubbed you the wrong way, and that's
no, you ain't. You know what? You ain't gonna even apologize.
This is the thing about the opinions of the public, and we cannot control them. And I do believe that everybody has a right to feel how they feel. This is a very emotional driven situation, an emotional case. And like I said before, I do believe in forgiveness. I'm a God-fearing person, and if God can forgive, then we should be able to forgive. And I understand that you had this, I'm sure, conversation with God. But this is just now getting out.
Right, but you keep on saying forgive. I don't care if anybody forgives me. I just want to tell a story. I could go on with my life because I know what's going on. I don't have to sit on no damn panel.
Right, and
I ain't got to keep on doing all that. I ain't got to go back and forth.
Right, but I think you.
I ain't worried about nobody at all.
Defensive.
Anybody knows me, they know I ain't worried.
And then I have to ask you, sir.
I just want to find my baby.
Right, but if you're not worried, then why did you call in?
Okay.
Why did
because
these
people don't know. Because people don't know. She running her bubblegum mouth. She don't know.
Do you care?
And see, this is what I'm talking about.
I'm asking you.
You bringing up questions like this is Ricky Lake or something.
He is very defensive because he know he didn't do the right thing, man. He know. Because they actually being very nice and reasonable with him. He's the one that's been angry.
No, but I'm asking
you exactly what it is.
But I'm asking you, do you care, sir? What other people think? Do you really care? That's all I'm trying to tell you. Why does it matter?
I said about your forgiveness. I said about your forgiveness.
But it's not for me.
You keep on telling me you can forgive. You're not God. I don't care if you can forgive or not.
Okay, but what I'm telling you,
I don't care.
This is what I think
you wasting time telling me about what you can forgive. I don't care about you forgiving.
Okay, no. I just want to say,
I just want to find my daughter.
And I understand, but I think you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is not just to you, but for
he hung up.
Oh, okay. Well, there you have it. Right. There you have it. Someone said that we're misinterpreting his words.
No, they not.
Someone in the comments said that we're misinterpreting his words. I don't know what was Ryan Renee said. Why are y'all twisting his words? I'm not sure what was twisted because y'all heard the same thing we heard. But I think. But what I was trying to say is because I saw a lot of judgmental comments. Yes, we know from what he told us in the first interview that he did miss. He signed his rights over. He did say that. He agreed for ZIYAH to go with her grandmother. He openly said that.
He did. He sure did.
So my thing is, you don't have to explain to us for forgiveness. That's between you and God. And I believe God forgave you for that. I 100% believe that. And you can start a new life and start now by advocating for your daughter. Start acknowledging your daughter for the decisions that you made. That's what I was trying to tell not only him, but the comments. Look, you guys, like, God forgive us. We all, just because our sin look different don't mean it ain't considered sin. You
might have been misinterpreting your words.
That's what I was trying to tell him. Like, and I'm not trying to.
If anybody likes,
you feel me? That's why I'm like, it's not even for us to judge. It took a lot of courage for him to get on this podcast to say, "Look, I failed my daughter."
Exactly. And I criticized him right while he was on the phone the first time, and then I also told him, right, you were her dad, right, and at the same time that you did what you did in regards to
that kind of behavior. That kind of behavior, the talking over, the defensiveness, it still tells me you're still living. You're still living in that because you know you were wrong. And until you acknowledge that you were wrong, because you're hiding behind that, you're still angry at yourself. You don't have to take it out on me or nobody else in these comments. You're mad with yourself because of the decision that you made.
And now I'm getting criticized.
And that's why I said, if you really didn't care about what people had to say, then why did you call in?
Exactly.
Why did she ruffle your feathers that made you call Mark's personal line? Because you're still angry with yourself. It doesn't matter what the public say. You're mad at yourself, and I can understand why. And you hung up further proves to me you ain't over what you did. You got to live with that.
See, one thing that I don't like that a lot of people do. I mean, I've done it. I still do it. I'm sure at some points in life, but you have to blame yourself. You have to, in order to heal from something, you have to look at yourself and how you contributed to it. What did you do wrong? Because all I heard him saying is the grandmother was moving back and forth. He couldn't find her. He was this and that. It was circumstances. Everything was an excuse. You know, that's what it is. It's an excuse. You can come up with 99,000 of them. You can blame everybody, but what part of it did you contribute? And that was number one, cheating on his wife. He cheated on his wife for another with somebody else and made a baby. Then he turned around in this what we just listened to and said that wasn't his wife then. What? What? He said something about they wasn't married then, but he introduced her. He said he the one that told us that this was his wife and that that's what, because somebody said you cheated on your wife. And he was like, yeah, that's what that would be. So you're the one that introduced the woman as your wife, and then when somebody talk about her being your wife in a situation, now she ain't your wife. But you're blaming the grandmother for this, that, and the third. Blame yourself for messing with a woman that you wasn't even in a relationship with while you're married. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. That alone, he should take that. Just take that and blame yourself. I'm telling you, in order to get over something, in order to heal from something, you have to blame yourself. You gotta, what I mean by that is, I mean, you could be mad at somebody else, put it on somebody else for the rest of your life, but you cannot change that person, but you can change yourself. So until you hold yourself accountable on what you contributed to this, which is the child herself, you created her and you wasn't there for her. And then bastards like him, they prey on women like Shannon and her mother and all of these people that was victims themselves at some point. But I don't know what's going on in that household. I'm telling you, because if you was a victim yourself, how do you allow this to happen right up under your nose and not see anything and not notice anything and feeding the kids to them? Do you need ZIYAH? Like, come on, you can't convince me these people didn't know though. But people like him, they prey on women with low self-esteem that got little girls that allow him to be around. Not one time would this bastard would have picked up my female dog and took her no damn where. After knowing what kind of history he had. I'ma save the pets. Because I'm sure that whatever hole he can run up in, that's what he doing. Period.
You have to live with your child being in the position that she was in because you were not there. Not like you thought you were there.
He wasn't.
You can spend money. You can buy clothes. Right. You can buy shoes. Right. But that doesn't make you a damn father. Money don't raise no kids. Where were you emotionally? And that's what I was trying to get to you, sir. Because kids are more than money. Right. They're more than shoes. Mm-hmm. They require time. They require nurturing. They require love. Where was that? Guidance. Can you imagine how she felt? Why does my mother and father don't want me? Why is my father not there? Why did you turn over your rights? Right. Why did you let me go? Mm-hmm. And if you brought up the fact that she was squatting and you knew she was squatting, you still didn't come get your child.
Ooh, now see?
You didn't come get your child.
Right. And he said that. He sure did say that. Like Annette was squatting like that. That's different. But he said that and still didn't do nothing. So that make him sound even worse. People be trying to crap on other people and then it make you look even worse.
Still didn't come see about it. I'm not losing contact with my child. 5 years. I'm not letting it. Exactly. I'm not letting it fly.
And if he can say 5, y'all, it probably was 10. Hell, 8 to 10. I'm gonna be honest. What he said, 4 to 5. Yeah, 8 to 10. Yep.
But this is accountability. This is what the community do. So when the community hold one of our other people accountable, that's what we do. We hang up. We hang up.
The truth is
like
hard
I
to
said,
hear.
Sir, God forgive you. It don't matter what nobody else thinks. It doesn't matter what I think. It don't matter what these people in these comments think. I just hope that you do better and do right in this time by looking for her. And if she shall come up and she's back in health and she's found, I hope that you make it right and that you take what we're saying to you, not as a defense, but to say, hey, brother, hug your child. Tell her you love her. Tell her you sorry. Because this sorry is too late. She needed to hear it while she can hear it.
Yeah.
She needed to hear it.
And if she listening right now, she damn sure didn't need to hear that.
Somebody said we spending too much time on him. No, this is all a part of the discussion. So
now after this was 10 months ago, so at this time she wasn't found and she's still not found.
It's all a part of the discussion. We not skipping over nothing. Everything gets talked about. Everything and accountability. It's uncomfortable, but you don't grow when you're comfortable.
That's true.
And we have to start holding each other accountable. We have to. And maybe that was a conversation you probably should have had with Mark instead of letting the world know. You should have probably had that conversation with Mark privately because you already know how the public don't feel. You really thought the community was about to embrace you when they heard you signed over your rights?
And was living your best life.
You really thought that they were going to embrace you? No, they like, you about to get this knuckle on the chin, sir. Because where was your antennas?
Right.
Where was your antennas?
And how was it not unsettling to you that you couldn't get in contact with your daughter?
Exactly.
Did you even try and find her? Did you even go look for her? You just said, "Oh, they gone." So
you think about it. 4 or 5 years. She been gone for 2 months, and it's bothering you. She been gone for 2 months, but 4 or 5 years.
Phone line back open. Y'all go ahead.
Car. Yep.
Let's see who's gonna
I'm sorry, he got me out of my element.
Well, hey.
All right. They rolling in, man. What's happening, caller? Who is this? Where you calling from?
It's just my lucky night. It's Carmen again.
Okay.
Carmen back.
What's happening, Carmen?
Carmen, you done rough with his brothers.
I'm going to keep it real classy, but I'm going to keep it very logical, okay? Detroit is not the biggest city. I think that they have about 9 precincts. Let's say if you were looking for your daughter, she didn't return home from school. You can go to any precinct, and they would have started a missing persons report. They would have started that 5 years ago. He said that he didn't know where his daughter was. They move around, hippie-hoppy-do. Yeah, they do sometimes. But you could have contacted the police then. You know what I'm saying? You went through Christmases, you went through birthdays, Easter, Thanksgiving, and didn't see your baby? Nobody in your family was like, hey, bruh, where, I can't pronounce her name.
No, nobody in the family was like that because he never even took responsibility for her.
Where's the guy at? Where my pookie butt at? Nobody said nothing. What did you say? What was your excuse? Oh, they just move around. I don't know where she at. Please. I just give it raw because guess what? I have 3 children over here. You just heard one in the background. I got one on my hip and the other one asleep. I can't even get 5 seconds alone, let alone 5 years. But that is the norm in our community. That's the norm. People go years without a lot of fathers and mothers doing. She should have been on the news 5 years ago when he didn't know where she was at. You see what happened? Now everybody's CPS and everybody's trying to gather all the paperwork, She should have been on the news 5 years ago. Period. And let the grandma call and say, you know what? Let the grandma call and say, hey, look, she over here. This our address. She on Barlow, whatever. This shouldn't have took 5 years. You're not getting no empathy from me. No, you're not. And guess what? You failed, and I won't say that it's okay. But you got to acknowledge that. You trying to argue and be defensive? You should never even call. That was silly. I was waiting on him to get off the phone. You can't. You just can't do that. We're not getting away from the fact this child has been missing. I'm just floored. Do you hear me? Lord, she been missing, and you don't know where your baby at? You don't even know what school she go to. Who's her teacher? What's her locker number? Do they wear uniforms? You don't know nothing. Get out of here. And that's it, Mark. I'm done now for real.
And so the reason for playing that today, I wanted to play what he said last. I do believe that was the last thing that he said on the show, or at least that I heard. It might, whatever. I'm going to listen to the rest of it, but not right now. So I wanted to also, but what do y'all think about that? I mean, I agree with the ladies, period. Like, there's no excuse. There's too many fathers that want to, first of all, he gave up his rights. So he already had made the decision that he wasn't going to be in their life. And then he he wants to blame other people. No, you already decided that you wasn't going to be there anyway. It's easy to put the blame on somebody else to make you feel better about what you did. And ain't nothing about what he did or the mother did that's okay. Especially even with the mother knowing how she was brought up in the house. I mean, it's just sad all the way around the board. But ZIYAH, she was born without a chance. This is what I said already. And then on top of it, the school dropped the ball. You know, she go missing and nobody looks for her. She was alive for hours. I'm talking about this dude had her everywhere. People seeing her. We see the people that's testifying right now that witnessed her with him that day. He didn't go to that hotel till something 9 something that night. She was at the shop with him. I mean, everywhere around town with this man. And he takes her out at the end of the day. But so many people failed her. So many people dropped the ball, even in the investigation. And the first ball got dropped when her grandmother decided to go to sleep instead of reporting her missing the day that it happened with the police. She waited till the next morning, go to the school. The school police took the report, and then they didn't forward it on. It was a guy that was retiring. He handed off to somebody that didn't do a damn thing with it. And it was probably like, it's crazy because they probably looked at it like, well, this wasn't my case. I ain't doing nothing with it. I'ma just, it was one of those things. He should have never touched it if he was going to be on his way out the door. And so we're going to listen to that guy's testimony at the school to find out what happened first. So the grandmother go to the school to report her missing. It didn't get to the real police until damn near a month later. And then they were told that she had on some totally different clothes than what she actually had on. That's why when Mark found the shoes first. Him and Roxy was in the area by an old golf course, which is by that water. They found the shoes first, but they were told that her shoes was blue and white, and that she had on something totally different than what she actually had on. So the ball was dropped by her grandmother and this guy right here who was retiring and whoever he handed off to. But anyway, we just gonna play it. It's crazy. A lot happened in this case. Everybody failed her. I can't even think of all the ways she was failed. This bastard here. It's disgusting. Don't want to look up, give eye contact, and he shouldn't have had that damn mask on either.
Thursday District Court is now back in session. Please remain quiet.
Okay, we are on the record. This is
Can you say your name for the record, sir?
Derek Wolf.
And what do you do for a living currently? I work at 36th District Court as a court officer.
And how long have you worked at 36th District Court?
2 months.
And prior to that, where did you work at?
Detroit Public School Police Department.
And how long did you in total work for the Detroit Public Schools?
17 and a half years.
Welcome in, everybody.
You worked for DPS for 17 and a half years?
Yes.
And how long have you been in law enforcement in total?
39 years.
Before DPS, who did you work for?
I retired from Detroit Police Department.
And what were some of your common roles and responsibilities at the Detroit Public Schools Police Department?
We go to the school. Sometimes we talk to the kids. We take care of the building, take care of the principals, we take care of the family, and make sure everybody's about the law.
Oh. And in January of 2024, what was your assignment at the DPS Police Department?
I was assigned to investigations.
And as part of that assignment, does that include going out and taking reports from people who are making police reports to the school police department?
Yes.
I want to direct your attention to January 10th, 2024. Did you go to J.E. Clark School in Detroit?
Yes.
And what was the reason you went there, sir?
I got sent there by my lieutenant about a missing 13-year-old young lady from the school.
And when you went there, did you speak with someone who was making that report?
Yes.
Who was that person?
I talked to her guardian, her grandmother, which is her guardian.
And is that Annette Harris?
Yes.
And in terms of taking that report, what's that process like? I don't want to go into what anybody said to you, but what information are you looking for to gather to put into your report?
Okay, I'm making a missing report. So I asked Ms. Harris, when's the last time you seen her daughter? Her granddaughter. Description of what she have on. Has she ever been missing before? Does she have a boyfriend? Does she have friends she might go by the house and stay? Things of that sort.
And did you ask Ms. Harris all of those questions and get her answers?
Yes.
And then did you write an actual report?
Yes.
After you write that report, do you have any role in actually investigating to attempting to locate the missing person?
Yes.
Okay, what did you do after writing the report?
After I did the report, I canvassed the area looking for this young lady, although she was gone for at least 24 hours because she was missing the day before. And then from that point, we didn't find anything. So I found the bus number that she was on. I got the video, and it shows what she got off the bus at Cornwell and 3 Mile.
Said Cornwell and 3 Mile?
Cornwell, 3 Mile.
Okay.
So look, he actually did do some investigating. He actually did all of that. And the stuff that he found out, it definitely should have been turned over to the police immediately, but it wasn't. And you also heard him say that this was the next day. You know what I'm saying? So the last live stream when we were listening at the brother Florentino talk, he said a whole lot that was not true, saying that his mother reported her missing right away, blase skip a. We hearing right here how it happened. It was the next day.
And from that point, like I said, we went to the house, talked to the guardian again, talked to some of the people in the house, and then we
And you hear that they got a description of what she had on, which is not what she actually had on.
went on in and let it go from there.
Sorry, just to be clear, you keep on saying we. Are you doing these things with a partner?
Yes.
And who is that partner?
Dale Garner.
Oh. Judge, may I approach?
Yes.
I'm approaching with what's already been admitted as People's Exhibit 2. Do you recognize that, sir?
Yes.
And what is that is contained in Exhibit 2?
School bus.
And is that a still shot from the video that you pulled or that you received?
Yes.
Oh. And that's the bus that you identified that ZIYAH Harris was on?
Yes.
Oh. May I have one moment, Judge?
Yes.
I have no Judge.
Across.
Good afternoon. Mr. Wolf, you were dispatched to the J. Clark School because you're an investigator for DPS.
I was not dispatched. The lieutenant came to the office and told us to go by the school for the missing.
Oh, so you were requested, your presence was requested at the school?
Yeah, from my lieutenant.
You don't have an office within the school?
No.
So you're not like the school resource officer, per se?
No.
Okay. And you said you met with Ms. Annette Harris on the 10th?
Yes.
And that's in January of 2020.
January. Yes.
But that was early in the morning.
Around between 11 and 12.
So school was in session at that time.
Wait a minute. So she didn't go up there to 11 or 12 to report her missing? Wow. I didn't even know it was that late. Okay. So she didn't even go. First of all, she should have reported her missing that day, and then she wait till lunchtime to go report her missing? Damn.
Yes.
Wow.
Did you speak with the teacher who was in Naziah's classroom on the 9th of January?
No.
Did you speak with any of Naziah's known friends?
In the investigation, yes.
Now, pay attention to what he didn't do and what he didn't write down and all of that. Like this man was already checked out. Now he did the basics. We heard that. But listen at this part.
You did. Who did you speak to?
I can't recall that.
Did you write them in a report?
No, not a missing report.
Okay, so you spoke with folks, but you didn't record their names?
That's crazy.
I recorded it probably on my run sheet, but not inside a missing report.
Naziah got played all the way around the board. Period. In life. Period. And this is in death. This is awful.
And you didn't take statements from anybody?
No, not at the time.
Ever?
No.
God dang. What the hell? What?
Did you speak with anybody else at the school about Naziah, either on the 10th or any time after that?
Only other chance I talked to the guardian, which is the grandmother, and a couple of students.
A couple?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how many?
A couple, two.
Two. Okay. Just want to make sure we have the same definition of a couple. And you said you canvassed the area?
Yes.
What area did you canvass?
The 3 Mile area. We were all around there, checking the alleys, knocking on doors, seeing if we can get some video, doorbell, camera footage, things like that.
3 Mile, is that 3 Mile Drive?
3 Mile in Cornwall, that area.
Okay, and that's where the bus stop was?
Yes.
Where Naziah would have gotten off the bus?
Yes.
Anywhere else around the school?
We checked around the schools. We checked on, matter of fact, on her street as well. We didn't find anything.
In her classroom, does she have a locker or a cubby or anything where she stores items?
I can't answer that question.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Fair to say then that you didn't check?
I may have, but I can't recall right now because it's been such a long time.
Is there a report that documents whether you did or not?
No.
See, that's why you write a report, because you can't remember every damn thing. That's crazy, man.
And after you did the canvas of the area of 3 Mile Drive in Cornwall, what else did you do?
I went back to the station, advised the lieutenant of what we came up with.
Which was what?
Which was, I talked to the parent, the grandparent, talked to a couple of students. We didn't find anything from doing our search of the area.
So did you do anything else in regards to investigating?
No, I did not, because I was getting ready to retire, so I was done.
Okay. I don't have anything further.
See? He was about to retire, so he was done.
How long, you were first notified about this on the 10th, correct?
Yes.
And how long did you stay involved in the investigation?
That day.
Oh, thank you,
So
Judas.
your activities that Ms. Quick asked you about contained all happened on the 10th of January.
Yes.
What happened to the investigation after the 10th?
If someone else's investigation would have took over, besides me, because once again I was leaving, but I gave all the information that I had along with my run sheet as well. So
it was passed off to another investigator?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Okay. And then are you aware of what happened?
So who is the other investigator that need to be damn fired?
And after that?
No.
Okay. And you said that on the 10th, your lieutenant came in and asked you to go to J.E. Clark?
Yes.
And who is your lieutenant?
At the time, it was George Harris.
Okay. I know you pretty good.
I just clarification. You said you were leaving. Are you mean leaving DPS or leaving?
Yeah,
for the day?
retiring.
Okay. Any questions based off of my question?
No, Judge.
Okay. You were all done.
Yeah, so because he was retired, but he said he handed off. So I guess he did what he was supposed to do as far as that goes, but he didn't write a damn thing down that people said to him, and he didn't know who the hell he talked to. It's just crazy. So this is why this didn't help the case. I can tell y'all that. And it explains why I think she was a prosecutor that was talking and was just saying, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble if I say something about that because I have strong feelings about that. And I'm like, what is she talking about? I don't understand what happened. And so this is what happened. They didn't find out till almost a month later because it did not get to them. And then the detective, she talks about how she came about getting this case. And the reason why it even started getting investigated is because she was asked to look into the case. And then she started digging. And then, like, once she looked into it, she, meaning the lady that's reading all these raunchy text messages, she's the lead investigator. She was asked to look into the case, and then immediately she just started moving things around, talking to the right people, and it got opened the way that it was supposed to. Let me go to that if I could find it. I think it was
Jarvis Butts, the Detroit man charged with murdering 13-year-old ZIYAH Harris. He appeared in court for the first time.
That there doesn't need to be another form signed. And Mr. Butts is clearly aware of his rights, as he stated. And he is the one who agreed to be okay with not signing another form and not going through with that.
And, Your Honor, I would argue that just because he may know his right does not dispose the government of their duty to make sure that he is read, understands his right each and every time they interview him. So the fact
they was when they were covering this trial, they was covering all kind of stuff with it in between. There's all kind of stuff in this.
Think he knows his right.
The fires,
that they don't supposed to read his right. Make sure he understands and make sure that they're accurate.
Just when she first came on.
That's not.
This the lead investigator and how she got involved.
And what would be some common duties that you would do in partaking in those roles?
When it comes to missing persons, specifically those type of cases?
Yes.
So a missing person case, when someone's reported missing, we always go out to the home, search the home, talk to family, and try to get a good timeline of when that person was last seen, their common habits, where they are supposed to be, has any patterns changed, are they not going to school and not going to work? If the investigation leads us to believe that that person may be in danger or that there's something more to just not coming home, then we start pulling different video and try to look into cell phone data or friends or associates of that.
That's crazy.
Missing.
And in particular, have you investigated what would be known as a no body case before?
Yes.
Okay, and what does it mean to be a no body case?
That would be a missing person that we have come to the conclusion is a victim of a homicide. However, we were unable to locate or recover the body.
Okay, and how does that kind of investigation differ, if at all, from another investigation that you would do?
It's a little tougher. You need to go.
That you did.
For cell phone forensics.
Okay.
Or
would that include like extractions from phones, extractions from tablets, computers?
yes.
Okay. And did you get the chance to perform an extraction on a tablet back on January 30th, 2024?
Yes.
Okay. And who was this you got that tablet from, if you remember?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you know if it was from Detroit Police or Detroit Public Schools or something else?
Detroit Public Schools.
Okay. And when you perform an extraction from a tablet, what is it doing? What do you do?
It's pulling the data from the phone.
Now, I wanted to play this part because he's talking about the tablet from school, and somebody has said that you cannot go on social media in school. Instagram, you can't go on social media, but that's not true. according to what he said, because he was able to see Instagram and Facebook. So wait, yeah, he got this from the school. Let me play this.
A different unit than you are now?
Yes.
Okay, what unit were you in?
Cybercrimes unit.
And were you working back on January 30th of 2024?
Yes.
Okay. And
now y'all just heard her just say January 30th. So January 30th is when he went and got her tablet. So she came up missing on the 9th of January, and they wasn't investigating. They wasn't doing stuff until now, January 30th. They're doing a little bit more. Like the ball got dropped, is my point.
did you get a chance to perform, well, I guess in your role in cybercrimes, what is it that you did?
For cell phone forensics.
Okay.
Or
Would that include like extractions from phones, extractions from tablets, computers?
yes.
Okay. And did you get the chance to perform an extraction on a tablet back on January 30th, 2024?
Yes.
Okay. And who was it you got that tablet from, if you remember?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you know if it was from Detroit Police or Detroit Public Schools or something else?
Detroit Public Schools.
Okay. And when you perform an extraction from a tablet, what is it doing? What do you do?
It's pulling the data from the phone.
Okay. And is it like making a complete copy of what's on that device?
Yes.
Okay. And when you perform that extraction, what do you do once you perform it?
Place it on the disk and turn it over to the officer in charge of the case.
Okay. And that disk that you place on evidence, would that be a fair and accurate copy of the phone extract or the tablet extraction that you performed on the tablet for this case?
Yes.
Okay. And you're not for the admission of just the phone or the tablet extraction, and I believe it's exhibit. We propose exhibit 59.
Any objection?
No. I'm talking about for row number 1.
Row number 1.
Yes.
216.
See, you see Instagram. His name was J Bo. He was a friend in friend status. It was Instagram, got his account number, and then this is Facebook over here.
2854051.
Okay. And what's the username associated with that?
JBO back to the money.
Okay. And there is a contact number 2. Is that fair to say? Number 2 in the box.
You mean phone number?
No, the second account.
Number 2.
Yes, number 2. What kind of interaction status is that?
Friend.
Okay. And what's the
Friend.
okay? And what's the name associated with that?
JBO.
Okay. And what kind of user? In fact, number 2 under entries, there's a user ID. What kind of user ID is that?
Facebook.
Okay. And
photos sent.
Going back up to contact number 1, where it says photos, it's fair to say there's like a kind of a hyperlink there.
Yes.
Okay. And would that indicate that there is something attached to this contact?
Yes.
Okay. And it says photos. Would it be fair to say that would be a photo that was attached?
Yes.
Okay. And I believe that's going to be page 3 of that report. When you click photos, this is the photo that would come up under that Instagram account?
Yes.
Damn predator.
Nothing further, Judge.
Yeah, so he's just a disgusting piece of crap. And so I wanted to talk about how she came about the case and when.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon. Could you please state your name for the record?
Shannon Jones.
And how are you employed?
I am a sergeant with the City of Detroit Police Department.
And are you assigned to a special unit or division?
Yes.
And what is that?
I'm assigned to homicide, missing persons unit.
And how long have you been employed in that role?
I've been at missing persons since 2013.
And before that, where were you at?
Patrol.
Okay, and how long were you there?
I've been on the department for a total of 24 years.
Okay.
So throughout the prior years to missing persons, I had various assignments.
And what is your role in this case?
Welcome
I'm
in,
the
Double.
officer in charge.
What does it mean to be an officer in charge?
So I'm in charge of reviewing all the evidence and spearheading the investigations, looking into all the facts and possible suspects and information that's brought to the case and to compile it together.
Okay. And what would be some common duties that you would do in partaking in those roles?
When it comes to missing persons, specifically those type of cases?
Yes.
So a missing person case, when someone's reported missing, we always go out to the home, search the home, talk to family, and try to get a good timeline of when that person was last seen, their common habits, where they are supposed to be, has any patterns changed, are they not going to school and not going to work? If the investigation leads us to believe that that person may be in danger or that there's something more to just not coming home, then we start pulling different video and try to look into cell phone data or friends or associates of that specific missing.
And in particular, have you investigated what would be known as a no body case before?
Yes.
Okay, and what does it mean to be a no body case?
That would be a missing person that we have come to the conclusion is a victim of a homicide. However, we were unable to locate or recover the body.
Okay, and how does that kind of investigation differ, if at all, from another investigation that you would do?
It's a little tougher. You need to go through and kind of be able to show and establish that this person is no longer with us today. When you have a body, it's obvious, then you can come to the conclusion and work your case that way. So on a no body case, you're trying to find any signs of life, any evidence to show that there might have been some possible danger or some assault that may have happened to this person.
Now, I'm sorry, when did you get the case of ZIYAH Harris?
So it was first requested to me on February 12th. I received the email, which just kind of asked me to look into the case. It wasn't at our building yet.
February 12th. She went missing on January 9th. This is a 13-year-old. Ain't nobody seen. And the lead investigator just got the case. Was asked to look into it on February freaking 12th.
Or at our department. I looked into the case when I saw.
And it really wasn't even in a department yet, but she looked into the case.
That DPS was initially assigned the case, and I had reached out to Lieutenant Harris from DPS to kind of ask for an update on where they were, kind of see how the case was progressing and any evidence that they may have had.
Okay. So after that, how did it come about that you got this case?
So after meeting and discussing with Lieutenant Harris and reviewing the different things, it was determined that there had been enough suspicious possible things connected to her being gone. Number one, she's never been missing before. There's been no updates on any of her social media, which is very uncommon for a young child or juvenile. They're addicted to those. There had been a last known contact that she had possibly met somebody, is what we were informed, that there was a text message for her to be picked up, and that would have been the same day that she went missing.
So when you first officially received this case, I mean, what is it that you do right off the bat?
So this case was a little different because we kind of had to go back. We were already a month behind.
Yeah, already a month behind, and they already had everything that they needed to open up this investigation and do a full-on investigation when she jumped in it, but nobody did a damn thing.
She went missing January 9th, and now it's February 12th. We start kind of looking into what has already been done and then what steps I would normally take moving forward.
So what kind of steps do you take moving forward?
So once I reviewed the case, and it was determined that the last person that had contact with ZIYAH was Jarvis Butts, I then started to look into his phone records, his activity, places that he had been. On the 12th, we had determined there was already an analyst that had looked at different records and given us a location out in Ypsilanti. So I coordinated a search for the very next day on February 13th.
The very
we went
next
out
day.
to Ypsilanti. We conducted the search. It's a large area, and it wasn't pinpointed down to a specific house. There was a lot of wooded area over there. We had multiple teams out there. There was probably over 60 people at one point. We then started going into different businesses to look for different video that we may be able to recover close to the intersection that we believed would be a good starting point in that search area.
And did you recover, or were you able to recover anything or find anything from the Ypsilanti area?
We did find some video that was eventually pulled from a gas station.
And they was lucky
And
to get
what
that.
was, I guess, the condition of that video?
So the video is from a gas station.
Welcome in,
It shows
sister.
the intersection, I believe it's Michigan and Carpenter, which is actually,
Hey, young Riz.
I think that is like a Springfield township. It's kind of like a little small city just outside of Ypsilanti. At that point, we didn't know exactly what we're looking for, so we just kind of pulled like the window that we knew the devices were out there, specifically Jarvis Butts' device that was out there. So we kind of just pull all of that video before we lose it. And then as we gather more information, we can kind of go back and look at the video to see if there's something now that we can focus in on what we should look for.
Okay. Now that brings up a good point. You said you're a month behind on this investigation.
Yes.
So that fair to say being a month behind would cause you to potentially lose critical pieces of evidence.
Yes.
Okay. And some of those pieces of evidence, fair to say, could be videos.
Correct.
Okay. Why would it be that you would be losing those videos?
So most video systems and every business is different. You got green light, you have businesses and people that have their own residential cameras or private cameras. And it'll vary. Some of them start overwriting in 48 hours. Some of them is a week. Some may last up to a month. It just depends on how large their system is and how much data it can hold.
And is that a struggle that you encountered in this case?
Yes.
Okay. And where is it that you encountered that?
So there's several cameras and videos throughout the entire route of travel that later in the investigation we were able to identify. But as we identified those locations and went to see if video was still able to be there, it had already been overwritten or was not available.
Now I want to take you back. You did the search in Ypsilanti. Did you do any other searches kind of immediately at that time?
Yes.
Tell me about one of them. We're going to go through them, but start with one of them.
Okay. So after we didn't find anything in Ypsilanti, I kind of got to go backwards a little bit and go back to who we had known was the last contact with her, which was Mr. Butts. So we did a search warrant for his home. Later, I believe it was like later that night, 13th into the 14th, we had kind of worked all the way through. We did a search warrant to obtain his cell phone so we could try to do an extraction. We contacted the jail to look through his property. There was no cell phone in the property. We then ordered the jail calls to see if there was any conversations, anybody that he had talked to. We knew that he had turned himself in on February 7th. As we started to listen to those jail calls, there was a call where he had asked his shop partner, Cordell Wright, to retrieve a phone out of a vehicle. We then went and picked up Mr. Wright and brought him down to our headquarters to talk to him about the cell phone. He did confirm and he acknowledged the phone call. He said that vehicle came up there, was a Tahoe, Tashi's vehicle, Tashiana, and that he had looked in the back seat and tried to find where the phone was that Mr. Butts kind of described where he had hid it in this vehicle. He said that he was unable to locate it. So at that point, we then did a workup on Tashiana to find out where she lived, what type of vehicle she had. It matched the description that he kind of described. We did a search warrant for her home in an attempt to locate the cellular device and any other possible evidence that may help us and direct us to where ZIYAH is.
Okay, so I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. You started off with you went to do search warrant at.
So I really just wanted to show that part, to show all the lags in the investigation and what happened in the beginning and all of that. So Tashiana was in the hospital at the time. Her kids was at home. They went to the house. They went to the hospital. I don't know if they had to go there to get her keys or if her car was there, but they ended up taking her car from there and they found the phone in her car. Now, the partner that went to, when he called him and told him to look in the car and grab his phone and all of that. So I'm gonna go to his testimony. What the heck are we doing here? Hold on. I'm gonna go to his testimony. I don't know why, what the heck. And we'll go from there. What the hell?
No, I don't believe I've seen it.
Can you tell me, is there anything that you recognize in that?
The jacket in Channel 1.
Okay. And is that a fair and accurate depiction of the jacket that you've seen his niece, Jarvis's niece? And
so there's Roxy right there. This is her mom. I'm not sure who those ladies are. So this was from actually 2 months ago, y'all.
Right here, Mr. Wright, face the judge. Raise your right hand.
So his testimony
Watch your step.
is in connection with the investigator. So yeah, when you on those jail calls and they tell you you being recorded and all of that. So I just wanted to go through this part where we could hear him testify about the phone and how that all came about and his lack of finding the phone.
good morning, Mr. Wright.
Good morning.
And Mr. Wright, do you have a nickname?
Yes.
And what's your nickname?
King.
Is that K-I-N-G?
Yes, ma'am.
In this testimony, he also they asked him about if he slept with Shannon or not, and he didn't slept with Shannon. I think he said 2019 or 2020. They gonna ask if they got into it. He gonna talk about the fight or some Jarvis getting upset about his daughter, some guy coming up there trying to talk to him. So I like to show proof of things that I'm talking about, but we want to get this on the record.
How old are you?
37.
When's your birthday?
11/17.
What year?
86.
And Mr. Wright, back in January 2024, were you on a MDOC tether?
Yes, I was.
And what dates were you on tether from?
From March 14th, 23 to March 28th of 24.
And what were your tether restrictions back then?
I could leave the house from 6 in the morning. I had to be back in by 9 p.m.
Mr. Rice, do you know someone named Jarvis Butts?
Yes, I do.
How do you know Jarvis Butts?
I first met him. We worked together at a shop called Frank's, and then we owned the shop together.
And do you see Jarvis Butts in the courtroom today?
No.
Would you be able to stand up so you can look around?
Yes. No.
Welcome in, T. Beezy.
When did you meet Mr. Butts?
Right.
2018.
You said you two worked together initially at a place called Frank's.
Frank's.
All right. Where was Frank's at?
He has a couple locations. He has 7, but the one I met him at was on Warren and Neff.
Warren and Neff. Okay. And what locations of Frank's did you work at with Mr. Butts?
Warren and Neff.
Yes. And Mr. Wright, I'm approaching those proposed exhibits 4, 5, and 6. Can you look at these and tell me if you recognize those?
I recognize this one, and this one.
And those are those a fair and accurate depiction of the Frank's auto shops? At least 2 of them on Warren and the other one maybe on Harper?
Yes. Yes, I recognize.
And are those a fair and accurate depiction of your shop at 9000 Connor?
Yes, it is.
And are not the admission of people's proposed exhibit? Okay. And who was that jail call with?
Jarvis.
Okay. And who was he talking to?
Me.
All right. And what was the topic of that jail call?
He called to ask would I receive a cell phone out of a truck for him.
And were you familiar with what truck he was asking you to get it from?
Yes.
What truck was that?
It was a Z70.
Now listen at they manipulating tactics on how he was able to get this truck back up there to try to find this phone that he didn't find.
One Chevy Suburban.
And did you know who that truck belonged to?
Yeah, his baby mom or somebody he was dealing with.
And do you recall listening to that jail call?
Yeah, I recall.
Okay.
I was so irritated with their horrible recording equipment when they had Jarvis in the interrogation room. You couldn't hear a dang on thing that they was talking about. I just hate that they have horrible equipment. They should have the best recording equipment ever for stuff like this. And these jail calls sounded horrible too, but I think they might have been better than the interrogation room. Either way, he didn't end up finding a phone. And I just came to the conclusion I don't think he was really listening to him, because the detective said that they found it exactly where Jarvis said it would be on this jail call. I thought that was funny. That's what he did.
Would move to admit
Trying to be slick.
the jail call from, I believe it's February 8th, 2024, between Mr. Wright and Mr. Jarvis Butts. Any objection? No objection. What is it? Exhibit number 1? Sorry, that's exhibit number 1.
You'll give it as to exhibit 1.
Thank you, Judge. And may I publish?
Look, he kind of laughing like they got your whole call recorded. You know this dude. You already know. They don't sound like they sound in court.
And for the record, I am playing people's exhibit 1.
I don't even like talking on a jail phone.
This is a one-time free 3-minute call from an inmate at Woody County Jail. Your phone is not just collect calls. This call has been provided by Helmy as a courtesy for friends and family. You cannot receive additional calls from this instance until you call prepaid calls. We can take your credit or debit card information over the phone and connect you immediately back to your calls. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. Press 1 to accept all communications from this. Thank you for using Helmy.
My guy, what's up, man?
Not shit, man. What's happening?
Not shit, man. How you feel? My bad, I missed your call. I was working like a motherfucker.
I figured they said you was at your bank. They said you shot the bank.
Yeah, you know it.
What's up, my nigga?
put my money on my motherfucking books, bro. Oh yeah, take a minute when you put that shit on there. You could be
Sound like a loser.
Crazy. I swear to God, you got machine and shit. You show you straight, me. I mean, I'm gonna come out to that. I have money on my books, nigga. I came in with money. Oh yeah. Yeah, so when they put this shit on my hookup, I was up on the average. I get come up $0. That's some bullshit. That shit crazy. Yeah. How is it though? Man, that's some bullshit. I'm gonna be quarantine on this whole shit, bro. Oh yeah, they got you on that quarantine club for how long? 3 days? I don't know how long. Man, shit, I'm saying. Oh, I'm about to be the only one in this bitch on my part. You say what happened? I said, shit, I'm about to be the remember me and you know, this one talking to this bitch. Okay. Yeah, so. What you need? Huh? No, I was asking what that customer needs. Man, listen. You straight? Yeah, that's my name. Huh? So yeah, I'm good. Oh shit, yeah. You got my number, right? Yeah. So Dig, I need you to call her one day and get that truck up there and get my phone out there back seat, bro. Oh man. All right. Well, I'm going to get the truck up there. What will tell it? So you gonna fuck around the lost car that there too when he's moving the radio. Okay.
Now everybody get to hear y'all manipulative tactics.
You have 1 minute remaining for this call.
Reach behind that back seat. Yeah. So you reach behind that back seat, bro. The box right there. Straight behind the middle of that back seat, bro. Okay, under it or in the back or in the back? In the back, like right in the back of the seat, bro.
Right in the back of the seat. He missed everything.
Okay, second, bro. You know you took the key. You took the key to the gate. It's the same key. I don't got that key to it. Yeah, you do. It's the same key to the lock and the door. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. All right. Yeah, it's the same key, bro. Now, you know I got to put the money on the phone later, man. When I get around, maybe I have to put the credit card. You I told my wife and have to bring it up to see. No, I don't need to go. You said the same one I got.
See, he called her his wife.
So I'll get it right now anyway. Just when I get the scrap out of there. Okay.
Don't call me from jail. I don't want to talk.
And Ms. Wright, were you successful in getting that cell phone from the vehicle like Mr. Butt asked you to?
She came up there, but no, I wasn't successful. It wasn't there.
Wasn't there? Okay.
Yes, it was.
Tasha.
Now we just heard the detective say that she found it. That's funny.
His baby mom.
Okay. Did you look for it in the vehicle?
Yeah, I looked for it.
Okay. You were unsuccessful at finding it.
Yes.
He didn't look where he told him to look.
And Mr. I want to talk to you now about the second time that you were speaking with Detroit police. We heard that it was just a couple days after your first time.
It was not long, a few weeks maybe.
When you finished fixing it.
We take it back to her. I called her first and asked her how she was planning on retrieving the vehicle. She said she was going to tow it.
Do you recognize his niece?
Yes, when I see her, when he pointed her out to me, yes, I recognize her walking across the street.
Okay. So this is how ZIYAH ended up with them. And he tried to make it seem like she was just walking down the street. When he was communicating with her about him picking her up, meaning Jarvis. And Jarvis and ZIYAH had already communicated that he was going to pick her up. But his partner, the way that he's telling the story, like, oh, we just happened to see his niece walking. Nah, he knew she was going to be walking there at that time.
And one of us will stay. If it's not a car there, we go together sometime.
Okay. And on January 9th, 2024, did one of you guys go to the auto parts store or did you both go?
We both went.
Both went? Okay. Tell me what happens when you go to the auto parts store.
Before that, I called them. They ordered the water pump, so we went and picked it up when they called and said it was in. We got in the truck, went to AutoZone, got the water pump. On our way back from AutoZone, I believe we forgot something, so we ended up turning back around, going back to AutoZone, grabbed whatever we forgot, came back, and on our way back, he was coming down Harbor. Jarvis said, "I see my niece right there. She walking." We pulled into Angel's liquor store. I still didn't see her. He pointed across my face, said she right there. She was coming across the street at that time.
So Angel's liquor store is where they picked her up from. She was walking across the street. So Angel's liquor store, I wonder how far is that from her house or from the bus stop? How far did she walk to get there? That's why they didn't see nobody picking her up in the area. Angel's
I still didn't see her. He pointed across my face, said she right there. She was coming across the street at that time. She got in the truck with us. She spoke, King, Jay, and we proceeded back to the shop.
So, when you guys are driving to these auto parts stores, who's driving?
Driving there, and one of us will stay. If it's not a car there, we go together sometimes.
Okay. And on January 9th, 2024,
right,
did you guys, did one of you guys go to the auto parts store, or did you both go?
We both went.
Both went? Okay. Tell me what happens when you go to the auto parts store.
Before that, I called them. They ordered the water pump, so we went and picked it up when they called and said it was in. We got in the truck, went to AutoZone, got the water pump. On our way back from AutoZone, I believe we forgot something, so we ended up turning back around, going back to AutoZone, grabbed whatever we forgot, came back, and on our way back, we was coming down Harbor. Jarvis said, "I see my niece right there. She walking." We pulled into Angel's liquor store. I still didn't see her. He pointed across my face, said she right there. She was coming across the street at that time.
Harbor.
She got in the truck with us. She spoke, King, Jay, and we proceeded back to the shop.
So, when you guys are driving to these auto parts stores, who's driving?
Jarvis,
Okay, and where are you at?
passenger seat.
Okay. And you said when you guys are heading back to the shop the second time, that's when you said Jarvis spots someone?
Yes.
Who does he say that he spots?
His niece.
His niece, okay. And do you recognize his niece?
Yes, when I see her, when he pointed her out to me, yes, I recognize her walking across the street.
Okay. And so you guys pull over.
Now I heard that he met Jarvis. Well, I think he said here he met him in 2017. Did he not know that was Shannon's niece and not his niece? I mean, and then how much did he really know? Like, if you think about it, how much disappearing could Jarvis do at the shop when he had the kids there? Because he definitely would have been disappearing, and he's supposed to be helping him fix the car. So exactly what did he think he was doing? I mean, if this dude is bold enough to drop his damn pants to his ankles and let the kids see what's going on, I don't think he would hide from his friend either. What y'all think? I wonder.
Get into the car.
I believe she getting behind me, so the back seat behind me.
Okay. Does Jarvis say anything to her?
Yeah, she speaks to both of us, and we speak back.
Okay. What does he say to her?
Hi.
Hi. And where do you guys go after you pick up his niece?
Back to the shop.
Okay, that's at 9,000 Hunters?
Yes.
Okay.
So he had her at the shop with him right after this, and he's gonna talk about like this kind of give you a timeline right here of what was going on from the minute she got with them and when they parted. Now I remember hearing him say that they parted from the shop and he left before Jarvis left, and he had to be home at 9. So he had her, she was alive and well at least until 8:45. I don't know. I think from the shop, Jarvis went to the hotel after that. And they said that she was never seen again, but they didn't never say if she was with him at the hotel or not. Or at least I haven't heard that part yet. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
What do you guys do when you get back to 9,000 Hunters?
He back in. We get out. We proceeded working on the Jaguar. I may have got out the car first with the parts, and he was in the car with her for a second.
So see, they went to Ypsilanti and all that to get his baby mama's his child's mother's car or whatever. And then Naziah went back with them to drop the car off after they fixed it. So she was at the shop with them the whole time they working on this car. Drove back and dropped the car off and all that. Like, that's crazy. And her family just twiddling their damn thumbs. They could have went up to the shop and found her with Jarvis. Had they looked for her, Jarvis would have been the first person I would have been checking for. I would have went to the shop just on the strength of, but no, they didn't look for her. Like, that's crazy to me.
Working on the Jaguar.
And what happens next? What do you guys do?
I believe she get out, get into the front seat, reposition herself to the front seat of his truck. It was colder that day. I believe she started the truck. We started working on the Jaguar, putting the parts back on. It took a little minute. Like I said, it was a difficult job, so it took a while.
It was
at some point, I believe the truck ran out of gas, so we had to stop what we were doing to push his truck to the gas pump so he could get some gas.
His truck ran out of gas because he was broke. He was waiting to work for the day to get some gas, probably. Allegedly.
So he said that she gets out of the car that you guys were in?
Yes.
Okay, and then she gets into Jarvis' truck.
No. We was always in Jarvis' truck.
Okay.
So she gets out of the back seat and repositions herself to the front seat so she can start the cover.
And tell me, what kind of car, what kind of truck Jarvis drive?
Escalade.
And what color?
It's pearl white.
Some female's truck.
What, if you can see, what is his niece doing while you guys are working on job?
I believe she's on her cell phone, I believe.
But she ain't have a cell phone, remember? Wait a minute. Wait, hold on now. Wait, was she on a cell phone? Where is that phone at then? By the way.
Jarvis ever take his niece anywhere that, like, while you guys are working at the shop?
No.
No, okay. Did you ask him if he was going to take her home at all?
I believe I asked him was he gonna drop her off when the truck ran out of gas.
See?
Push it to the pump. It was just a distraction from work, so I asked was he gonna drop her off. He said no.
And do you finish working? Did you finish working on the Jaguar that day?
Yes.
Okay. And what happens after you finish up on the Jaguar?
I called my son grandma and asked her how she was gonna retrieve the vehicle. She said she was gonna tow it back. I told her she didn't have to do that. That was just spending extra money. So I asked Jarvis, was it all right if we dropped it off? He said yes. And we started making preparations to do so.
Do you recall about what time you guys finished the Jaguar and prepared to leave?
Right around 7:30-ish, somewhere around there.
7:30. So around 7. So she was at the shop.
Yes.
She was at the shop until to like 9 though, because after they left and dropped the car off, they went back to the shop. That's just crazy, man. If only they would have just freaking looked. They could have all these out. See how bold this dude is, though? Y'all see what I'm saying? The other thing that I was wondering is, because remember, allegedly Shannon had texted him saying still no to the. Was she would have been what? Well, I don't know what time she texted him, but I'm curious. What time did she text him? She's sitting up at the shop all these hours and this dude lying. And knowing they could have just pulled up there. These are the chances that these people take. He wasn't worried about them pulling up. She all outside sitting in this vehicle and ain't even supposed to be with this dude, allegedly.
And
wow.
Who all leaves the shop?
Me, Jarvis, and his niece.
Okay. And tell me about the driving arrangements.
So I drove my 300 and Jarvis drove the Jaguar.
And where was his niece at?
She was with him in the front seat of the Jaguar.
Nothing strange. See, now he said that she was he asked her when the gas ran out the truck if he was going to take her home because it was a distraction from work. What was his understanding of why his so-called niece was there, period? What is her reason for being there? He never asked that question. That's why that don't even make sense. Then you run out of gas and he asked you, or he thinks he asked him, are you going to drop her off? Nope. What's she here for? Waiting to the end of the night so he could have her in that shop? Maybe. I don't know. But I mean, that probably happened a lot too, because this dude had to be home at 9. So that leave Jarvis there by himself with the girls. If he don't know. But I mean, come on. People don't be paying attention, or he just didn't know. But it is no proof that nobody knew, allegedly. Maybe maybe it'll come up later. I don't know. I think if they investigated and found something, these people would be locked up for it. So, I mean, I just have a hard time believing that nobody knew nothing. Like, come on. I would have questioned it. Like, why do you have these dang kids up here? Because I think they even asked him, do Jarvis pay them to do work? Or have you ever seen them pay? No. Or have you ever seen them do work or something? They asked him.
Are you able to recall what his niece looked like that day?
Oh, yes. Faintly, but yes.
Do you remember what kind of clothing she was wearing?
I remember she had a jacket on. Like I said, a coat. It was cold, so I think it was colorful.
Colorful?
Yeah.
And it's annoying to hear them call her his niece when we know this ain't his damn niece.
May I approach? Yes. Mr. Wright, I'm approaching with people's proposed exhibit 2. And I'm going to direct you to the top left corner. Can you tell me, is there anything that you recognize in that?
The jacket in Channel 1.
Okay. And is that a fair and accurate depiction of the jacket that you've seen his niece, Jarvis's niece, wearing that day?
Yes.
Okay. And I move for the admission of people's proposed exhibit 2.
Any objection? Okay. So we'll give it as people's exhibit 2.
Thank you. So, you guys are driving to Ypsilanti. You said you're driving in your 300s, and Jarvis is driving Jaguar with his niece.
Yes.
Okay. About how long did it take you guys to get to Ypsilanti?
It was raining that day, so about 35 minutes.
35-minute ride, so about 8
And
something.
when you get to Ypsilanti, what do you do?
We get out, we park the car, get out, we go in. My son's grandma and I believe his auntie was there as well, so they greeted us. They spoken to him before, so they greeted him. And then my son's grandma asked who the little girl was.
And did you introduce the little girl?
No.
Okay. Who introduced the little girl?
Jarvis did.
And what did Jarvis introduce her as?
His niece.
And about how long do you guys stay in Ypsilanti?
Not long, maybe 15 minutes or so. My son auntie had to go get the rest of our money that my son grandma didn't have, so she went to the ATM.
What do you guys do much at the ATM?
Talking. She was just telling us about the work she needed to do around her house, etc., so on and so forth.
And was Mr. Butts with you the whole time?
Yes.
So, you guys eventually leave Ypsilanti?
Yes.
And tell me about the driving arrangements coming or leaving Ypsilanti.
At this point, we only have one vehicle, which is mine. We get in, drive in the front. I believe Nazaya sat behind me.
Sat behind you?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any kind of talking or conversation when you guys are driving?
No, I got sounds in my car, so no.
And do you recall about what time you guys, where do you guys go when you leave Ypsilanti?
Back to 9,000 Connor.
Okay. And do you recall about what time you guys get back to 9,000 Connor?
Probably around 8:45. I was cutting it close on the tether.
What do you do when you get back to 9,000 Connor?
Opened up the shop door where he left his truck in one of the bays, so we opened up that bay door, went through the gas station because that's the way we entered the shop. Went through the gas station, opened the shop, opened one of the bay doors. I went to the back and started splitting the money that we had made for the day, and separating the receipts, etc.
Where do you see his niece go?
Get in this truck.
Do you recall where at his truck she got into?
Passenger.
Is that front passenger, back passenger, or something else?
Front passenger.
And where's Mr. Butts at?
Back in the back with me, separating the cash.
And when you leave, do you lock up the shop?
No, I left first.
You left first.
See?
Okay. So when you leave, who's still at the shop?
Jarvis and his niece.
See them leave the shop at all?
No.
So, how long did they stay at the shop? I'm wondering, where was the murder scene at? Where did it happen at? I mean, they haven't said anything about nothing happening in the shop. They haven't said anything about it happening in the hotel. I mean, where exactly did it happen at? Did it happen out there by the water? Did he just fire on her and that was it? I mean, because they did say those holes in her sweatshirt hoodie Could have been from bullets, could have been from, a number of things. I don't know, man. This is crazy. But look at all this action, though, y'all. You gotta be stupid. Everybody seen her that day. Like, a lot of people seen her that day, and he still decided to do what he did. And he only did it because he was supposed to be getting locked up the next day. That's why it was so urgent to do it that day. Then they end up postponing it. That's crazy.
And have you seen Jarvis's niece, the one that was with you on the 9th? Have you seen her since January 9th, 2024?
No.
Now I want to talk about the day after that you guys went to FC, so January 10th. Do you recall if Mr. Bucks was at work that day?
I don't think he was.
What makes you think that he wasn't?
I believe he called me like 3 times, 4 times. No reason for him to call me if he was standing right next to me.
So we don't think he's speculating to about putting police. Yes. So you said that you don't believe he was at work because he would call you. Did he call you so often?
He called me. We had a 30-minute conversation on one account, and then we had another conversation about 15 minutes.
So I wonder, what was they talking about? He called him twice at 15 minutes and 30 minutes. What was that about, I wonder?
Okay. So that makes you believe in your mind that he was actually on the scene.
What's the question first?
It's asking, based on those conversations, in his mind to him, that means that Mr. Buck was not at the shop with him. I don't think that's leading.
It's stating a conclusion. He said he already stated that he wasn't at the shop. He didn't move. So I'll overrule.
Thank you. You can.
One more time, I'm sorry.
Sorry. So based on the length of those phone calls and the types of them, did that make you believe that Mr. Buck was not at the shop?
Right.
Did Jarvis Butts ever mention to you about his niece being missing?
No.
Never even said nothing, huh? And then he's so stupid. All of the text messaging and all of that stuff that they was doing, as soon as this happened, of course, he unalived her. Everything stopped abruptly. So that's one of the things that when I just said that, it made me think about my cousin's trial. Her trial was her case was a circumstantial evidence case, and the dude was calling her so many times prior to unaliving her. After he did that, he didn't call. And they can just look at that and be like, man, you know that she was gone. That's why you're not calling her or texting her. That further makes you look guilty. The phone activity, period.
But aside from that jail call that we played, since turning himself in.
No.
And do you know someone, any of Jarvis's siblings?
Yes.
And which sibling do you know?
I met his brother and I met his sister.
You talked to his sister. Start that. Do you remember would his sister ever come to the shop?
Sporadically.
Sporadically, okay. And are there times that you talk to her?
Yes.
Okay. And have you talked to her about Jarvis's niece being missing?
After the police questioned me, I believe she came up there and we spoke about it, yes.
No, this is his partner. That he had a shop with this guy. The one that did it is locked up. Let me pull his picture up. This bastard right here. Yeah, him.
And Mr. Mr. Wright, I asked you earlier about if you've seen Mr. Butts in the courtroom. You said that you couldn't see him.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, peeping time here. Peeping over that damn mask. Hey, Angela, welcome in.
And I'm showing you People's Proposed Exhibit 9. Can you tell me if you recognize that photo?
Yes.
And who is it in that photo?
Jarvis.
Okay. That's Jarvis Butts?
Yes.
Okay. Now for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 9.
Exhibit 9.
Thank you.
I wasn't even gonna go over this whole testimony, but I think it's important. You gonna ask you?
Mr. Wright, I kind of want to direct your attention back to People's Proposed Exhibit 3. People's Exhibit 3, I'm sorry. From here where I'm holding it?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know who this person in this photo is now?
Yes.
And who do you know her as now?
ZIYAH.
And the next time that you see Jarvis Butts after January 9th, 2024, do you see any injuries on him?
No, I don't believe I've seen it.
Now the other person gonna ask him about Shannon. That's right. They probably gonna come right away and ask.
Good morning. So early spring of 2023 is when you said that you think that you opened up the shop at 9.
Yes, it could have been earlier than that, but yes, around about.
And so you became business partners?
Yes.
Did you become business partners?
Yes.
Okay. You also consider Mr. Butts a friend at that point?
Yes.
As far as the business arrangement, you said it was a 50-50 split. Did you split it every day at the end of the day? Or?
Every day at the end of the day.
Now back around the beginning of 2024, maybe the end of 2023, were you seeing a woman in Clinton Township?
A woman in Clinton Township?
Right here, y'all. Right here.
A friend.
That would be Shannon.
A woman named Shannon Harris.
In 24?
Yes.
No.
Or ever.
Yes.
When were you seeing her?
It probably was 2000 and maybe 19 or 20.
So I was right.
Before I went to prison.
They share women, y'all.
Did you and Mr. Butts ever have falling out about that?
No.
Not at all. Why is that? Look at this. Did Jarvis know about this? Like, was this an agreement they had? What are we doing here?
Now you and Mr. Butts, did you talk about your personal lives?
Sometimes, yes.
You just spent days at work together, right?
Right.
So presumably it came up.
Of course.
Talk about girlfriends.
Of course.
Did women often come to the shop looking for Mr. Butts?
Sporadically.
Did he talk to you about the various women that he would be seeing or juggling, maybe?
That happened.
It sometimes cause drama in the shop.
It happens.
Women would come up and confront Mr. Butts.
100 years.
It happens.
He deserved
Other women
life.
that he was seeing?
It happens.
Did you ever feel like that was affecting the business?
Not at Frank's.
What about at the business that you owned in Connor?
No, it didn't happen as much.
Didn't have as much in Connor?
Right.
Okay. Now, sometime, I guess, while the two of you were working together, you had a friend that was, I guess, talking to or trying to date one of Mr. Butts' daughters. Is that correct?
That happened.
The daughter was 21, 22.
She was somewhere around there. I'm not 100% certain, but yeah, around that age, 20, 21.
A lot of nerve.
And that caused an issue for Mr. Butts.
It did.
He got pretty upset with his friend.
It did. I was in prison at the time, so, but yes, I was involved already.
So he was in prison when it happened, but he got fighting mad about some man talking to his daughter. Go figure. I think it was only because he wanted to hit it.
Did you ever hear of an altercation that happened between the two of them?
Some kind of altercation did occur, yes.
Was your impression that Mr. Butts was pretty protective of her?
Yeah.
Based on that.
Based on that.
Did he help raise her?
13.
And you said that some of them
22.
Yes, I have.
You're familiar with them?
I think we at 22 right now.
And I'm going to ask you to name all of them, but at the shop encounter, you said his sons would come,
His son will come sometimes and stay today with us.
and his daughter.
She'll come sometimes and stay today with us.
And what's her name? Do you recall?
Gotta question that.
No, I don't want to misname it. I think it's someone with J or something like that. Though. I'm not.
Janiyah then.
Was she like a teenager?
He has a teenager. She come up there sometime, but not really. The littlest one, maybe 9, 7, 8, 9, somewhere around there.
Okay. And then his niece would also come?
Yes.
Would she come typically with his own children?
When I first met her, yes, that's how I met her with his daughter. She would always come with his daughter. They would come up there sometimes to get air in their tires. Maybe money, just typical kid stuff.
Did he ever, or did the two of you ever have them?
Now, did he say anything about them coming up there to do work? Did he say that they would come up there and do work or not? Hell no. He ain't said nothing about them coming up there to do no work, because that is not what they was coming up there for. And this is the guy that was there with him when them kids was there. They wasn't working on nothing.
Them like doing chores around the shop?
Sometimes.
Did Mr. Buzz talk to you about his children?
Yes.
Did you talk about spending time with them?
Yes, I believe he lived.
Now she just asked if they did chores around the shop. He says sometime. I doubt if they was doing anything. They had some books in there that they could read or whatever, maybe some crayons. Maybe they had to put them back in place. What could they clean up at the shop without getting hurt? Nothing.
And you said it, you mentioned Tasha. She's one of the mothers of some of his children,
Yes.
correct? Is that who he was living with at the time?
No, I don't believe so.
Now, you said, I believe in your testimony, that you had been to Ypsilanti twice with Mr. Butts.
Or 3 times, one of that.
It possibly could have been 3.
It could have possibly been 3. I'm not 100% certain.
Now, one of the times that his niece was at the shop was, you said, on January the 9th.
First time I seen her by herself, yes.
That was her first time by herself. First time he seen her by herself. Very interesting. I don't think I caught that one.
Picture of on Harper.
Yes.
Did Mr. Butts seem surprised that he saw her?
I'm not sure. I couldn't really, we was riding. I wasn't really paying attention to his expression.
No, he wasn't surprised. He knew she would be there. He was planning on getting her. I don't know how he was able to time it just right.
Said, hey, there go my niece. I didn't see her, so he pointed her out to me.
And at that time, you only knew her as his niece, correct?
Yes.
You didn't have any idea what her name was at that time.
No.
And in fact, the reason you learned her name was when you identified that picture that was just shown to you, and the police told you what her name was. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say.
Now, in the time that you were at the shop on the 9th with Mr. Butts and his niece, did you see any inappropriate behavior or anything that made you raise your eyebrows between the two of them?
No.
What about any of the other times that his niece would have been there at the shop? Did you ever see any behavior that made you question or thought was inappropriate?
I can't say I have.
Now, the 3 of you rode back from Ypsilanti on January 9th. That was your testimony, right?
Yes.
Was there any conversation between Mr. Butts and his niece in the car?
There was no conversation between really nobody. I had the music on.
And I'm going to back up to earlier in the day when the 3 of you came to the shop the first time after you picked her up from Harper.
Okay.
You said that she pretty much stayed in Mr. Butts' car the whole time?
Yes.
She said she was on her phone.
Yes.
Did you ever leave the shop at all after that before you guys went to Ypsilanti?
Maybe in the gas station.
So not just the attached gas station?
Yeah, maybe to the gas station. I'm not sure if I actually physically left the building. I'm not sure.
Would it have been for more than like 5 or 10 minutes?
If I ever left, no, maybe to use the bathroom, so maybe 10 minutes.
So from my understanding, it's a carry out and it's a car wash, and the gas and their shop is in the middle.
Stops if I had to leave.
You never have to grab parts at any place that you can recall?
Not that I can recall.
Now, after January 9th, what was the next time you said that you saw Mr. Butts?
The 11th.
The 11th. Okay. You was not working on the 10th?
No.
Okay. Were you there on time on the 10th? Do you recall?
So he went to work on the 11th?
What time did you come in on the 10th?
Probably about 8:40. I go to the gym, so we open at 8, but I'm never there at 8, so I probably got there maybe 8:49.
And on the 10th, were you the one that opened the shop?
Yes.
Now, you were aware at that time that Mr. Butts was supposed to turn himself in and serve a jail sentence for William County Jail. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
You talked about that, obviously, because he was going to have to leave the business for a while.
Correct.
And you actually went to the courthouse on the day he turned himself in to support him, right?
Yes, I was there.
And he was going to be serving time on a gun possession charge, is that right?
That's correct.
If you know.
That's correct.
And because you were kind of paying attention to what was happening, you understood that the court date had gotten changed a few times.
Yeah, he told me that it had changed. So I believe he's supposed to get sentenced on the 9th, but it got pushed back to February the 7th. So I learned that through him. I didn't go to court with him that time, but just when he got sentenced, I went to court with him that time.
Are you familiar with any court dates that he had out in township around that time?
He did say he had something going on with his daughter, I believe. I believe it was domestic with his daughter of some sort. So yeah, I was familiar with that, I believe.
Was he going to court for that at that same time?
Around about, I believe it was supposed to be, yes.
I don't know about that.
No, you got involved because at some point you became aware that the Detroit police wanted to talk to you back in February.
They came to the shop and picked me up
Okay, that just a few times.
to headquarters.
Okay, and that was the first time on February 13th, is that right?
That was February 13th, before Valentine.
Then you said you spoke with them again a couple days later.
Yes, I believe the first time I spoke with him, I was still on tether, so it had to be some time after I was on tether, yeah.
And then you spoke with them again in March, right?
Yes.
Was that a phone conversation?
No, all of our conversations was via person.
And then a couple weeks ago, did you also speak with the police
Yes.
and the prosecutors?
I don't know if a prosecutor, but yes, I believe she was. Yes.
Now, in February, when you were talking to the police, by that time, had you seen anything on the news or on social media about who you later learned was Mr. Butts' niece?
No.
So at the time you were interviewed by the police, you didn't know anything about it?
No.
And at the time that you were talking to the police, while you were on tether in February, you were on tether with your parole, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you had about 3 weeks left on parole at that point.
That's a good question, Angela. I mean, how much did he know about the guy? You would think that he would have known that because he said he'd been knowing him since 2017. And I mean, usually you know when somebody get locked up and all of that. But I think, I don't know, if he met him in 2017, that means he met him after he was released from prison. Because I think he got released in like, maybe 2014 or something like that. I'm not sure though. But he didn't know him when he was in prison for all of that, if he met him in 2017. But I mean, I'm sure he showed some creepy vibes when he was around the kids. Like, I mean, I don't
Not 3
know.
weeks in February. Yes. I had 3 weeks left on tether. I got off actual parole in May.
Okay. So the tether was coming off, but you were still going to have to report.
3 more months after the tether came off.
And in February,
He may be mentally ill too.
with the detective, presumably. You and the officer or the detective spoke about the tether, right? Do you recall that?
I believe so, yes.
Because you were concerned every time you would go somewhere, you would be late, you were very.
Oh, yeah,
about
yeah.
being home on time.
Right.
And in fact, he actually said, hey, we'll take care of you if anything pops up.
Now, I did hear him say, no, he was talking about something back then. This actually is from 2 months ago. So his testimony don't have nothing to do with what we looking at now, with the new girls being in court and all that. But you said he was referring to the same case Jarvis had with his daughter. And yeah, so I don't know about that case. Whatever, because I do remember hearing that Shannon lost her place. I think one of her aunts or one of her family members that's speaking out right now actually said that they helped Shannon get this house that she was supposed to be paying for buying this house, and for whatever reason, she lost it because of Jarvis and his shenanigans. So I don't know. I didn't know what that meant. So now that he said he believed it was something domestic or something about his daughter or something. I don't know. I mean, are we talking about him tampering with his daughter? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Right.
He said, I talked to your PO, so you're fine.
Okay. And he also kind of warned you that you didn't want to get somebody upset about the way you were answering these questions and have somebody feel some kind of way about you.
What?
You recall him saying that to you?
He may have said something to that extent. I'm not sure though.
So that was the SA case that he had on his own daughter. That's crazy. I'm gonna have to find some information on that because I don't know nothing about the prior case. I just been covering this part. I know that I heard them say that, but I didn't know it was about that. I didn't know at what point he did this. And then that's the daughter who father was trying to take his head off then. Wait a minute. No, that's her sister's daughter. Okay, I'm getting her sister's daughter is the one that testified during the hearing, this preliminary hearing. And her twin sister's daughter's father is the one that tried to attack Jarvis during this preliminary hearing. But you're saying that the SA case was about his daughter, and that must have been back in 22 because that's when they moved, or no, 23 is when she moved in with her mother, allegedly. But they also said that back in 22, Zaniyah, am I saying her name? Naziyah used to be with her all the time. So it started in 2022. So he messing with her and his daughter. And that's the daughter that he will have at the shop too. Because he just said like a 9-year-old and she's 11 now, I think. This dude is just all over the place. Now, what mother? So we could say, oh, she didn't know about Naziyah, right? But she damn sure knew about her own child and still kept this guy around, still getting pregnant, still having kids. That's just insane. Insane.
This is the first conversation or the second you asked me.
The second. Right at the top of the conversation.
I can't really recall every word. I know they were agitated. I was a little agitated. It was a lot going on, so maybe.
It's possible that conversation.
It's possible.
Did you understand any of his statements while you're talking to him, saying that the police wanted you to give answers, and if you didn't give answers, that they could mess with your parole or your other status? It goes to his state of mind.
But he doesn't know what happened.
It's about what he believes might happen and the impact of what he said. Was it your understanding that if you didn't give certain answers, that the police might impact your parole or your other status? Was that a concern of yours?
I mean, it was already affecting my tether, so I wasn't really, concerned about how he placed his questions upon me. No. So, more of the concern was my being picked up by the police. Police contact is a violation of parole within itself. So I was violated for the police contact, regardless to whatever he was saying. You know what I mean? So, no, I don't believe it impacted anything at all, actually.
But your parole wasn't actually revoked because they took you to the station and interviewed you, right?
No.
Now, we talked a little bit about this a few minutes ago. Mr. Butts was struggling with a few different women during the time you knew him.
Yes.
And it's hard to keep up with all his baby mamas.
I mean, it wasn't my job, so yeah.
And what he said were his baby mamas.
Right.
Did you get the impression from Mr. Butts that he didn't want these women to know about each other?
Of course.
Yep.
And woman named Tasha was one of Mr. Butts' ladies.
Yes.
And that was one of his baby mamas.
Yes. To my belief, yes.
She just keeps saying baby mama. Girl, get out of
Between
here.
you and Mr. Butts, while he was at the jail about his phone, right?
Yes.
And after that phone conversation, Tasha actually came into the shop to get some work done on the car.
Yes, he came to get a oil change in the headlight.
And that's when you went and kind of looked for the phone.
Yes.
Now, you didn't really want Tasha to know that you were looking for the phone, right?
Of course not.
And the reason for that was?
That's a fact,
She's
Angela.
gonna wonder why I'm looking for a phone.
And it was your impression that Mr. Butts was afraid it would reveal that he was talking to other women?
Of course.
And so trying to help him keep the peace?
Of course.
Yes. I think the testimony was on the 9th, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there was an issue during the day. Mr. Butts had his escalator there, is that correct?
Yes.
And he had run out of gas,
Yes.
and he had to get gas, is that right?
That's correct.
At some point, you pushed him to the, or helped push the escalator to a gas pump.
Yes.
Do you recall leaving with him that night and going and getting gas together?
For his truck, or what we saying? Or for like a gas can? What do you?
Well, either one. Did you all leave the shop to, and perhaps you in your vehicle and he in his vehicle and end up at a gas station
No.
on the night?
No.
You don't have any recollection of that?
I don't remember that. No.
Okay.
So that was a picture of Shannon at her reveal party, like still having babies by him. So this child just turned 2 now, I do believe, that she had back then. I think her youngest child is 2. But yeah, this is her pregnant here, and I think that's ZIYAH back there handling that kid. So in one point of this video, she walked over there and was like, "Hey, hi, I'm Rainbow." This is ZIYAH that did this. And then she just found that so funny, and I'm still trying to figure out what was that supposed to mean exactly. So we already know that, the cousin has since said that Shannon essayed her from the age of 6 to 12 years old. That was crazy. I was not expecting that one. But it makes sense now.
I think that's all I have. Thank you. Can you redirect? Okay.
Thank
you. All right. So he hurried up and got up. So yeah, I definitely wanted to put that on the record. I wasn't gonna play that at first, and it's a couple other things that I was looking at that I wanted to pull up, and it was something with Shannon and the lead investigator. But because we already 2 hours in, I don't want to make this too long. If anybody want to call in and give your opinion about this, I would love to hear it. But let me pull up the number, and then I'm just gonna be looking at y'all comments right now. But yeah, so everybody felt her. The ball was dropped by every dang on body. Wasn't picked up by some people. Was in business partner and on a child essay. He didn't think it was weird for a 12-year-old to be with Jarvis often at their shop. He just said that was his first time seeing her there by herself. And he would bring his kids sometime, sporadically, he said. But then, when we were listening at the text messages too. The live before the last live, I don't remember which one. We on 5 right now, but it was a lot of instances where he was talking about come outside, or I'm gonna pull here, or she was saying pull here, and it's like in the middle of the night, like 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. Like how is this happening and don't nobody know nothing when Granny run this tight ship with all these chains and locks and all the yelling that she was doing that day? A 9-year-old young girl. Yeah, that's crazy. It makes absolutely no sense to me that nobody knew nothing. I mean, but this is the thing though, y'all. I'm like, everybody has cell phones. It's communication. They didn't find nothing that connect them to them. They must have been real smart if they had anything to do with it. Right now, they don't have no evidence to prove that. But it's some stuff. Like, it's some people that could totally connect these dots. And it's the ones that actually got hurt in that household to know exactly how things operate. But we seen from listening to her brother talk, we see how no matter what, they gonna stick up for that granny. And they said things happened to him too. And finding out that lady, which is Naziah's mother, was tampered with by a husband named Charles, and they also said her brother was too. So it sounds like generations on generations and no protection. It sounds like it's something that it's a requirement to be in this family. I'm just saying, like, what it looked like, yet you don't recognize a pregnant person in front of you. They calling her in the text messages that we seen when she was talking about how sneaky she is and how she trying to get some D and all of this. She showed them no indication of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, where did that come from? Just out the sky. It's like they knew what was going on, but watching her to see how slick she is. Like, they really know what's going on, but they watching her sneak and do things. And I don't know, man. I don't know. It gotta be some type of communication somewhere, because I just can't believe that these people didn't know nothing. And now we got somebody coming forth saying this happened to me, and you got a woman whose daughter was tampered with, and you continue to have babies by this same dude. Like, nah, you gotta know. You gotta be down for it. This is who the stallion we talking about right here, having all these damn babies. This who we talking about. Pregnant right there. 2-year-old. Like, and I'm sorry, I think this child just turned 2. That's crazy. She lost a whole lot of weight. I can tell you that. She definitely did. I would be stressed the hell out too. Free yourself and tell the truth. Somebody got to know where she is, and where exactly could her body be if it ain't in that water. Like, bodies turn up. You know what I'm saying? So could it have been a throw off to put her clothes over there? I don't know the distance. Like, I'm gonna have to look into some more stuff, because I know that they said that he went to this hotel, but I'm still trying to figure out, was she with him or not? At what was the because he left the hotel, but then they found him in this Berg area, I think, where they found her clothes at 11 something that night. So I'm gonna have to look at the timeline again. But he definitely know where she at. It seemed like it wasn't a gruesome, like, like dismembering or nothing like that, because you would have seen the evidence of that. You would have thought that they would check. They didn't say nothing about, I did hear them say that they checked his house. I'm still trying to figure out where exactly was he living at. Which one of these women was he living with at the time? I got to do some more research to answer some more of my dang on questions. I want a complete timeline. But anyway, I ain't gonna make this too much longer. I'm going to go ahead and end. I'm looking at, I think Shannon helped him to dispose of the body. It ain't no evidence of that though. It's like people should know by now. The cell phone is how they do everything, which is good that people stupid and they still take their phones with them. But everybody ain't stupid, and there's some missing pieces to the puzzle. It really is, because you think it's but if it's in the woods, she would have turned up, like, unless she would have been buried somewhere, but even still, you can tell when the earth is disturbed and all of this. Her clothes wasn't weathered either. So could he have just placed them out there? Nah, but they was going by. They found that. Nah, I'm trying to think. They were going by GPS locations on his phone that led him to certain places. But I also remember those shoes and stuff was initially found by Mark and Roxy. And then the police end up going out there and finding them. I remember them saying that the investigator found, this is something that I don't understand that they do too. And I think that's crazy that, you know how when they take a picture of the clothing or whatever, and they pose the clothes, like before taking a picture of how they were when you found them. I mean, they literally, I did listen at that testimony of the guy that said that he found the clothes. He was sent out there because the shoes was found. Some shoes was found out there, and then they went out there and searched because Mark said he found out 2 months later that they had did some DNA on the shoes and it was her sweat. Those were the shoes. Now at the time they was looking for blue and white shoes, not red and white shoes. But what I was going to say is I don't like that they do not take pictures or like with Jelani Day and with this case, they did not take pictures of the state of the clothes that they found them in. We was told that they was found, the guy that found her pink jumper that she had on said that he found that jumper and the shoe was inside of it, like the jumper was inside out and the shoe was in it. So that kind of tells you how he took her clothes off of her. And she was likely deceased when he did it. Because why? I mean, she probably was deceased when he went out, took the clothes off. But how did she get out there? You know, it's some missing pieces. It really is. Somebody has said, well, what if maybe he sold her off or gave her to somebody? And I mean, they ain't found the body. Anything is possible. I just said, I don't think he was that dang on smart. Now, we just found out from his business partner that he was supposed to turn himself in on the 9th. He didn't come to work on the 10th. You know, what was he doing? Did he hide her body later? But no, he wouldn't have thought to do it later. Everything he did happened at night because he was expecting to be locked up. So did he hand her off? I don't know, but they found her DNA. They found blood and stuff. So the only thing I can think of is the water. That's the only place that a body can pretty much get lost. But I don't know how big this river is or where it leads to. I don't know. It's a lot with this case, but we gonna stay on it. I think, the wood, she definitely would have been found, you know. It's gonna be interesting, man, to find out what's what. Oh, thank you, Angela. I did not even see that. Shout out to you. She said, I appreciate you covering this case, Miss V, and I appreciate y'all following this case and coming in here tuning in. But shout out to you. Shout out to you. Let's go. Shout out to you. Let's go. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And so, dang, I think I'm close to my goal, and I forgot that I actually set a goal today. So thank y'all so much. King may have mental illness too. Ain't no telling. You gotta have some type of mental illness to be hanging with this dude. I'm talking about from the females to the men. So thank y'all for donating. I really appreciate that. But we gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I ain't gonna make this too much longer. But when this ends, the other one is gonna pop up for Ashley Elkins. And I'm gonna come in tomorrow and talk about her at some point. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Make this go viral. Please smack that thumbs up. Hit the back. You can also donate to the Cash App. Thank you, sisters, for coming through. Thank all y'all for tuning in. Shout out to BFF. It's in Molly Seat. Detroit River and Belle Isle Island are very easy to get to. Okay, yeah. Peace and love, y'all. We out.